Well, hey folks, my name is Brad Martin. Today is day 2 of my French adventure. I'm here with Chill Bill. He has his own YouTube channel with his own amazing videos. Please go check him out, subscribe, like. Today he brought me to some standing ruins in the forest today.
Yep, from probably 1700s.
My kind of place. We're in a magical forest right now. What is this, ivy?
Yeah, ivy on a pollarded oak.
Beautiful. Ivy all over all the trees here, and as you can see, just through, we have some standing ruins from the 1700s, things we never see in Vermont. Let's go check it out. Is this a well? It is a well. Don't fall down it? Okay. What? Oh my goodness. That has got to be the deepest well I have ever seen. I can't see the bottom. I see it. There's a little door. And then just over here, the home, they were likely farmers.
Yeah, without doubt.
Without a doubt. And here's the doorway. The arch still intact. And I will enter the ruins of a 18th century home. Wow. The fireplace and the beam and everything is still there. Absolutely incredible.
Chill Bill's over here.
I see you peeking through. You can see the holes where the ceiling beams would have been. That's really interesting. One room. Thick walls though. Incredibly thick. Back in Vermont, I can't think of any standing 18th century homes like this anywhere in the mountains. This is very, very special to me. So thank you for bringing me here, Chill Bill.
Hey.
Even if we don't find anything in the ground, just seeing this is worth the hike out here. But let's see if we can find a few things. All right, first target, once again in the first minute. The first target is a relic. Now back in the States, we would call this an old pewter spoon, middle to the end of the 1700s. Is that fairly accurate? Okay. That's a great sign for how early it is. For what it is, it was a great target, which means nobody's found it before us. Excited. Let's see what else we can find. So I just got a fairly loud but irony target, and I kicked the leaves away, and here, right on the surface, is an old iron buckle. I've actually never quite seen one this design before, back stateside. But Chill Bill here said, oh, that probably wound up on the surface because of the wild boars. You're saying they're like bulldozers. They come through and just like turn up the soil, and artifacts that could be just below the surface are now just sitting on top, and you're confident nobody other than you has metal detected here, and you wouldn't do this, just throw something on this top like that. So
I've got a special bag for rubbish.
I'll have to keep an eye out for the wild boars. You see them every once in a while, right?
I came across a whole horde of these pigs, you know, a horde of swine. And the mother and father of them, or whoever it was, they were huge things. They're like, you know, motorbikes in size. And then there was kind of big pigs that you really wouldn't want to meet. And then there was piglets. And, you know, they're up on the hill and they looked down at me, and I looked up at them and went, I'm really a lot meaner than I look. And they looked at me and they thought, how would it taste? And off they went. But, you know, they give you a funny look, those boars, and you really, you wouldn't want to have a conversation with them close up.
No.
But, you know, they're not looking for trouble. Da, 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 da. They're not looking for trouble.
Famous
and,
last words.
You just stand there, look big, and they'll go, oh no, don't want anything to do with the guy with the yellow spade. and they'll go off. But they, you see them and you go, ooh, they are formidable beasts.
Right. Well, I am right in front of the front door of this home. I got a beautiful target, like 90. And so far, a lot of the things we've been finding are quite deep here. Chill Bill and I were joking earlier about how, it's a place very familiar to me. 18th century home in the forest. And wouldn't it be funny if I found a shoe buckle? And wouldn't you know it, one of my first targets winds up being a buckle of some kind. Look at this. Now, I don't know if this is a shoe buckle or not. I've never seen one so thin this way. That's certainly what it looks like. It almost looks like this is the underside, this is the top, and it was mangled. But it has the characteristic holes for the pins here. Now, you said shoe buckles weren't super popular in France, right?
Well, no, the knee buckles.
Knee buckles.
There'll be hat buckles.
Hat buckles.
There'll be lots of different buckles. I haven't seen any big, fat, Puritan style shoe buckles like that. But you obviously brought that with you.
Yeah, I travel with these. Well, I will say I've never found one so thin. I mean, this way. Usually they're more square.
Yeah, the pin will go through here.
Right.
There.
Well, in any case, it's a big old brass buckle. And it gave off a beautiful target. It was a 90. Loud, not too deep. First really good find. I'm excited. See what else we can
The
find.
spoonage?
The spoon.
The spoonage,
Of course.
That sounds classic
No, I said
material.
really great to find.
That was really great spoonage.
Well, the landowner has stopped by, speaks French, not much English. I don't speak any French, so we just spent the last 5 minutes trying to convey that this was a piece of a clock. Didn't quite work out, but I did just find a fragment of a movement plate. There would have been a bunch of gears attached to this, all of the different movements of a clock. And I would have to guess this is sometime middle to late 1800s. And we just discovered, Bernard told us, that there's actually a second home. Second home, but it's all grown up over here. So we've kind of started moving our focus away from that first home, which there isn't a whole lot of targets there, but we're moving this way towards the second home. Target's starting to pick up a little bit more. Very interesting. An old clock in France. Well, I'm kind of in, it's not the old road, I don't think, but it's a cart path now. And there is a pond behind me, and it's a pond that the homeowner would have made at the time. Apparently in France, I just learned, before they built their home, they would dig a space out and use the clay in the earth to build their home. And then they used it for water or whatever they needed, and we're right on the edge of that. And I just found a thimble on your finger.
Dia coudre.
Yeah, for sewing.
Yes.
Yeah, landowner is here. And it's a big one, men's size. Interesting, probably the same time period as the rest of the stuff. 1800s, more than likely.
What?
Oh, and a moment ago also, Mr. Chill Bill found a
Let's see.
spoon handle.
Spoon handle. It's flower on top.
A flower! I didn't notice that. You're right. Decorative. I was thinking.
Seen that. Never seen that on a thimble.
No. Home is here. And I don't really know what I have here. I don't think that it's 18th century, 1700s, because it appears to be brass plated. And I'm not really I'm not sure really what it is. It almost looks like a purse, like a little coin purse. Wouldn't it be something if there were coins in it? It almost looks 20th century. Let me see if there's anything else down in the hole there. No, empty. I don't know. I'll go confer with Mr. Chill Bill and see what he thinks about it. That seems like a 20th century coin purse. He had speculated that although it is ruins from a home that existed in the 1700s, people probably lived in it less than 100 years ago. So maybe this belonged to them. It's pretty cool. Well, Chill Bill and I are continuing to use our new XP Deus 2 metal detectors here on day 2 with continued success. And as I mentioned last time, XP is actually a French company. Their metal detectors are made in France, and that makes them the perfect sponsor for today's video. Now last time, I talked briefly about the Deus 2's fast multi-frequency capabilities, allowing users to find a variety of different metals at varying depths. But today, I wanted to point out some of my favorite physical characteristics that makes the Deus 2 perfect for me and what I do. Like the Deus 1, this machine is super lightweight. It breaks down small enough to fit in my backpack, and it's totally wireless. That is to say, there are no wires from the headphones to the main unit to the coil. No cords whatsoever to get caught up on branches or brambles, much like the terrain that we're in today. And this wireless technology is proprietary. XP designed it specifically for metal detecting, and they boast the lowest latency in the industry. Now, all of those features apply to the Deus 1 and the ORX as well. But something that is new that I'm quite excited about is that the Deus 2 is totally waterproof. Now, the Deus 2 is not just safe from the rain, you can actually use it to dive in both fresh and salt water over 60 feet down. That, combined with the multi-frequency technology, makes the Deus 2 hard to beat in the ocean. And that's enough for today. XP has generously offered to sponsor more of my upcoming France videos, so I'll talk more about it next time. If you're interested in picking up your own XP metal detector, please consider using the link in the description box below this video or the one that just popped up over my head. Using those links will not only get you an amazing metal detector, but will also help me out. Back to the action with Chill Bill. Well, we have moved away from the woods and those two old homes to an adjacent field that is next to a 15th century manor. And Mr. Chill Bill has found silver coins from the medieval time period here.
Yeah, 14th century.
14th century. So everything that makes a nice clean beep, and even things that don't make a nice clean beep, we're going to be digging up. And I just found a little tiny, maybe brass, maybe poor quality silver ring. And back in Vermont, I would discount this as like a gasket, an old gasket for something, chained to a purse or something. But given the context of where we are, we have to think beyond the 18th century a little bit here. And what this could be is a very, very small finger ring, because as I've learned, they would wear them to the first knuckle back then, which is new to me. So who knows? Maybe one of you know. Maybe
If you know, post below.
If you know, post below. But in any case, I'm going to put it in my treasure box, and we'll look at it more when we get back. So I didn't find that ring like 10 feet away from here, and Mr. Chill Bill pointed out some pottery. I mean, there's pottery all over the ground here, pieces of brick. This I wouldn't have known, but apparently is a piece of medieval pottery, perhaps a bowl, a large bowl. I mean, that's a good sign, right? We're in the right spot. Well, Chill Bill is too far away for me to call him over here, so we're going to have to link up with him later. But I just got a pretty nice target. I dug it up, and it is a silver coin. Now, he's saying that he was finding hammered silver coins out here. I don't believe that's what this is, but it's certainly silver. I mean, it's certainly a coin. So we're gonna spray this off. All right, we're just gonna pour some water on it here. Now it's not hammered. The date. Yeah, 1808. An 1808 French coin. I don't know what it's called, but that's what it is. And Chill Bill has said that he's been here many times. Found a bunch of silver coins here, so he missed this one, which means hopefully there's a few more out here to find today. But even if not, this thing made the day. An old silver coin. Oh, I can't believe it. Finding silver in France. All right, folks. Well, that is going to do it for me for day 2 in France. Chill Bill is still a ways off, but I'm going to quickly do a wrap up and get packed up because the sun sets even earlier here than it does back in Vermont this time of year. But I had an awesome day. You know, the finds were very similar to the things I find back home at the home sites that are of a similar age. But seeing the home still standing, the well that has got to be the deepest I've ever seen in my life, was amazing. Just seeing these old buildings, somewhat like they were when folks still lived in them, is mind-blowing to me. The finds were good. They were interesting. I learned a lot once again. I've got it all laid out on a rock. Let's go take a look at it all. So here is our small pile of treasures for the day. And you know, it makes a lot of sense because the place that we went today in the forest is so similar to those poor farms up in the mountains of Vermont. And it shows from what we find in the ground. An old piece of clock, a buckle, which I feel like may be a shoe buckle, the 20th century coin purse. Unfortunately, there were no coins in the hole, but this is an exciting find when you first find it because you just never know. A couple iron buckles in back, a couple spoon fragments. This is a piece of a lamp, I think. An old thimble, the first thimble I've ever come across that has ever had an image on the top. And 3 little brass rings. This one may or may not be a finger ring. This one seems too big, but it's very similar. And this one, again, bigger still. Not sure of the purpose. It may be some kind of horse tack, or given where we are, it could be extremely old and have a purpose I'm totally unaware of. My favorite find of the day happened to come at the very end. A little silver coin. Still not sure what it is, but it's an 1808, a French coin. And we certainly don't find those back in Vermont very often. All right, folks, well, I want to thank you again for watching. Again, if this is one of my first videos that you've seen, I post one of these every week. So if you liked what you saw, feel free to subscribe to see more. Please subscribe to Chill Bill's channel. He's been amazing bringing me out to all of these awesome places to find real treasure here in France. And he has his own videos doing the same thing, and they're all great. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you next time.